Hey guys, Sarah coming at you today with I'm doing laundry, as you can tell from the clothes hanging up in the back, but it just occurred to me that I haven't done content on the dogs in a while, and so I wanted to kind of do a little PSA, a little just educational bit on Anatolian Shepherd dogs. I mean, any livestock guardian dog, but I'm speaking specifically to the Anatolian because that's what we breed. Kind of try to make it semi-quick, a little bit of education. And here's one of the biggest reasons why. First of all, somebody asked for more dog content, and I realized I haven't done dog content in a while because life has gone a little bit crazy, so I've been talking about other things, but it's time to get back to the dogs. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about them. We've also had an influx of traffic coming through social media, which is amazing. I love that. But I wanted to take this opportunity then to just kind of do kind of a broad spectrum PSA, to make sure that people understand what the Anatolian is, what it's for, and because the last thing that I want is for these dogs to get in the wrong hands or end up with people with a bad experience with these dogs. Nobody wants that. And so a little bit of education, a little bit of chat about them, to help people understand, is this the right dog for you? Is this something that you should be looking at? So number one, they're livestock guardian dogs. So what does that mean? That means that they were created thousands of years ago, bred to be these specialized tools to work alongside you to keep your livestock safe. Okay. Whatever that may be. It may be sheep, it may be goats, it may be cattle, it may be an assortment of things. Now, hot topic is poultry. Should they be guarding poultry? I'm gonna save that for a whole nother topic because that can be a whole nother thing altogether. So right now we're just gonna talk about like sheep, goats, cattle. I know some people that use them for guarding horses, whatever that may be. Okay, so their job is to be a specialized tool to basically keep the bad guys away, right? We want to keep away whatever predators are out there. So every location is different. Some people have really heavy predator loads and they're big scary guys. They may be dealing with bear, elk, moose, which, I mean, they're not going to go after and try to kill things, but they can still be a pain to have around. They can do a number on your fences, things like that. I've never experienced it because of where we live, but I've talked to other people in other environments that do have that. So mountain lion, maybe wolves, fox, coyotes, all different types of predation you might be looking at. Maybe predation of the two-leg variety, maybe wild dogs. It could be an assortment of things, right? So it's their job to keep the bad guys away and to keep whatever it is that is your stuff safe, okay? That means that they are perfectly capable and able of staying out and working 24/7, 365. Whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, they're like the postal service, only on steroids, right? They're out there all the time and they're perfectly capable of doing that. Every breed of livestock guardian dog has a double coat, so it's nice and thick and warm. You know, a lot of times if you offer them shelter away, because your livestock should all have access to barns and shelter, right? All of your goats and sheep and whatever should be able to have access out of inclement weather. So therefore, the dogs, in theory, should be living out there with the livestock as well, so they have access to shelter. Ours usually don't use it. It's very rare that ours will come in. They love the cold. They love the winter. Heat can be hard on them, but they flourish in cold temperatures. So don't worry about that. People will get real twitchy about, oh, but it's too cold. Oh, but it's not. They love it. So that's what they're for, right? That's what they've been bred to do. So if you are in need of something to keep the bad guys away, a livestock guardian dog may be what you need. Things that, or homes that can be challenging to place these dogs with, that I personally won't place these dogs with, are people that message me and say, I would like an emotional support animal. I would like an animal that I can take into hospitals and visit people. This is not that. If you want a dog for that reason, don't look at a livestock guardian dog, because that's not what they're geared for. I'm talking broad generalizations here, okay? Yes, there are anomalies. Yes, there are exceptions to every rule, but I don't breed for the exception. I breed for the breed standard, and I breed for what they're meant to do. So oftentimes I'll have people come at me and say, yeah, but my sister's cousin's brother's dog was an Anatolian, and they took him in the hospital to visit people, blah, 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 and they did great. Well, that's great for your second cousin, twice removed brother's mother, but that's not normal, and I wouldn't sell to somebody or place my dogs in a home that's what they would be used for, if that makes any sense. They're not let's go to a dog park kind of dog. They're not I live in an apartment and I need something to guard the door. Get something else. Get a different dog. Get something that's not a livestock guardian dog. Livestock guardian dogs should be livestock guardian dogs, not this other stuff. And I think one of the reasons people get tripped up is just even in their name, Anatolian Shepherd Dogs. So then they automatically will get lumped in with all of the other shepherds, Australian Shepherds, German Shepherds, things like that. And people think they're a herding dog. They're not a herding dog. Not. I kind of wish they could drop the shepherd part of it, because it's such a misleading thing for people. That's not what they are, okay? They should never herd anything. They should never be chasing things. They shouldn't, this is not that, okay? They're extremely intelligent. There's so much more that they can do. Like, they're just so dang smart that I don't like to box them in, but I also am smart enough to say, if you want a dog to take you to your dog park, this is not that. If you want a dog that you can take out and be an emotional support animal to your community, this is not that. Go and find something better suited to that, because these are not what that is for. They're a very intense breed. They're very independent thinkers, okay? They're not a dog that you can say, you're gonna sit and stay here until I command you otherwise. They're gonna say, hold my beer. Let's watch how this is gonna shake down. You have to look at them like they don't work for you, they work with you. And that's very much, excuse me, the mentality that they have is like, you're not gonna tell me. I know better than you. I will tell you if there's a threat. I will tell you if it's something that needs to be followed up on. You can suggest to me, and I'll take it under advisement, but there's no guarantee I'm going to listen to you. And that's the way that they think, and that's not a bad thing. That's what they've been created to do. We need to embrace that and roll with it, okay? But I think people get confused about that and try to fight it, and I think it's a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing, okay? They also need a really solid fence. They need a perimeter fence. They're not, let's slap an e-collar on them, or whatever it's called when you have like an underground fence or like a invisible fence and you put the little beep, 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 beep. The Anatolian's going to take one look at your little beep, beep collar and go, you know what, I'll happily take a zap as I go through this fence to keep the bad guys away. They don't care. First of all, they have a double coat, so it's hard to feel, you know, you need a solid connection for like a shock collar, for instance. Even if you shave that, I hate shock collars anyway. Don't even get me started on those things for any breed of dog, but especially a livestock guardian dog. they don't care. They'll just happily take a zap, you know, and run right through it. Again, it's what they've been created to do, which is to be, I will do whatever it takes to guard my charge and to keep the bad guys away. It's just the way that they think. It's not a bad thing. We need to embrace it and run with it. So you need a solid perimeter fence. Now, in theory, again, if you're using them with their intended purpose and they're in with livestock, your livestock needs to have a solid perimeter fence as well. So it really should be a non-issue. If they're working in a situation that they should be working in, you should have a solid fence anyway, a physical fence. A physical, I can see it, kind of a fence. If you want to run like proper electric with that, that's whatever, that's fine. I have goats that have to stay in with hot wire along with the solid because they're just jerks. So that's different. That's different. That's a physical fence with it. They have to have that. They do not have built-in GPS. Okay, they do not say there's a bad guy, I'm going to chase it up to this property line because I know at the northeast corner and 500 feet to the west is where our property line ends. Therefore, I will stop. They don't have that capacity. Once their brain is in, we're going to keep the bad guys away, they're going to keep after those bad guys until the threat has been neutralized. Whatever that means, you can, you know, think about that. So these are things you really need to take into consideration when you're thinking about, should I get an Anatolian? Should I get a livestock guardian dog? I'm not dogging on them. I'm not, no pun intended, I'm not trying to, you know, just bring out faults of them. I'm trying to just bring out real honesty about what you're getting yourself into, because there's nothing worse than having them get into the wrong hands or end up in the wrong home. The worst case scenario is that they end up in an animal shelter for any livestock guardian dog. That's a terrible place to end up. You have a dog that is very, very large, and if you stick them in a little kennel, as most shelters are, and then surrounded by other dogs barking and acting a fool, people walking in and out constantly, that just goes against everything that they're bred to be and do and put up with. It's a bad place for them to end up. So the last thing I want is for any of my dogs to get into the wrong hands and then the people end up unhappy with them. So I'm uber strict about where they go, where they end up, and trying to just be very transparent about people's expectations and what they're getting themselves into. So that was this is long. I'm already 13 minutes in here, but that's just like the basics of a rundown of quickly what you'll be getting yourself into. They're not evil, mean, terrible animals that want to rip everybody's faces off. If they know you, they've been trained with you or bonded to you, things like that. I would trust any of my dogs to the end of the earth with any of our family here. They would defend their people, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. They would happily lay their life down because they're fiercely loyal to a fault sometimes. But you have to understand what that means. That means that if you have a high traffic farm or facility or whatever, a lot of people coming and going, a lot of people in and out of pastures and pens and fences and whatever, this may not be the dog for you. There's other softer, less intense breeds of livestock guardian dogs that maybe would work better for you, but an Anatolian is not going to be it. Some of them are less intense than others, but I would never knowingly or intentionally say, you got a high traffic place, here, take one of my Anatolians, because I'm not going to do that. That could end poorly, because they're bred to be cautious of strangers, cautious of people. That's their job, right? We don't want them to be like, oh, hi, how are you? Come on in. You want to see my stuff and look around? Sure, come on in. If you want a dog like that, this is not the dog for you, okay? So just things to think about. Like I said, we have a lot of people right now that are asking a lot of questions. We're seeing a lot of foot traffic as far as social media goes, a lot of people asking questions and trying to learn. And so I thought, let's just do kind of a video and kind of give the rundown of generalizations, what they're like, what you may be getting yourself into, and then thinking about, is this what I want? Is this what I want to step into? Is this what I need? And will this work out for our family? So yeah, that's kind of a rundown of what we're doing, or not what we're doing, but just trying to explain what the dogs are like. I'm going to do some more videos here coming up, a little bit more on how the dogs are doing, updates on them, so you guys can see them, because I haven't done much lately with them. So life hopefully is settling down here as we're coming into the holiday season a little bit more, and I can do a little bit more content on stuff going on around the farm and things like that. So thanks for watching. I will say, if you made it to the end, thank you. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll do our little channel maintenance. I should do that at the beginning. Yeah, I probably should. Subscribe. When you subscribe, if you click on the little bell, and if you do it to all notifications, then every time I put a new video out, you know, you'll know about it, so we don't get kind of lost in your feed. Like the video. You can share the video if you want. Comment, ask questions. I love engaging with people from all across the world. That's how we learn more about each other, and that's always fun, and that's always great. I'll try to do better about linking. Like, I have a LinkTree so that you can follow us on all social medias. We have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, our normal just website as well. We have an Amazon wish list, which again is just out there with my husband and the cancer and all that has really a lot of things are affected. So the Amazon wish list is something that we're just constantly adding to that would help the family and the farm out. We have a tip jar. Again, every dollar amount helps. It just helps me be able to continue making content and educational bits for you guys, and contemplating some other things to bring to you guys for a little bit more educational stuff. We've had people ask about like virtual training, like video sessions to help people. So maybe that's something we'll try to come at more, some side, a little extras maybe, or farming stuff, cheese making, soap making. There's a lot of moving parts here with us, so maybe bring you guys a little bit more side pieces with that as well. But again, like us, share us, comment, engage. That's how, like I said, I love hearing from you guys all over the country, all over the world, and hopefully we'll come at you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll chat again soon. Thanks, guys.